The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. It's time for the Steelman and Thune at noon with Mike Steely and Parker Thune. Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wing Studios, here's Mike Steely and Parker Thune.
Yes, sir. Here we are. Welcome in. Monday. Can't trust that day. How we doing? We are here in the Buffalo Wild Wing Studios. 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. And we're on YouTube Live now from noon to 3 here on the Ref. Get to YouTube. Just search KREF Sports. And you will find us there, Steelman and Thune. A little bug should pop up showing that we're live. Just click on that. You'll be good to go. We'll give you our poll question for YouTube as well, and you can answer it also. You know, you just don't have to – you can answer it on both, right? Tell us what you think of the question and answer that. We've got 3 options for you on YouTube, and you can always respond to that on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line as well. Parker Thune, how you doing? What's happening?
Oh, you know, Steely. Just another day in paradise, as they say. A cold one in the state of Oklahoma. Apparently, it's supposed to get frigid this week. But
it's going to be brutal.
I won't bog this show down with weather talk because we've got Damon Lane for that.
Damon Lane is going to come in for about 5 minutes at 12:30 today. We've got a partnership with Channel 5, so we'll have Damon Lane on and talk about which day you're going to freeze to death. If you go outside for over 10 minutes this week, you might look like Jack Nicholson in The Shining when he was chasing Danny around the maze. You might just freeze to death. So I would recommend staying indoors. Later in the week, it's going to be pretty bad. Here is our question today for you folks on YouTube, and you can answer this also if you would like on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. How confident are you that OU football and men's basketball will bounce back? 3 options for you on YouTube. This is OU, give it a year. The other options, too soon to tell. And the other option is panic, we're the next Nebraska. You can answer that on our YouTube poll question today in the YouTube chat, or you can talk about that again on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, 405-651-3439. Over the weekend, Sooner basketball. Yeah,
oh, boy.
More on that here in a minute. Not good. Not good at all. Done. What a meltdown that was. The OU women did win at Columbia, Missouri yesterday, 82-66. OU softball dominated the Getterman Classic. They won all their games in 5 innings. Sam Landry, perfect game for the Sooners in their 9-1 win over Baylor yesterday. Second, perfect game for Oklahoma this year with Isabella Smith against Cal Baptist, I believe it was, earlier in the season. They have the Norman tournament Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weather pending, of course. They've got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday again, and Sunday over at Love's Field. We'll see how many of those they can get in. Women's gymnastics team lost a tough one to LSU, the number 2 team in the country. They will host Florida coming up this Friday night. The men's gymnastics team, Mark Williams and company, took down Michigan Saturday. They will be at the Winter Cup in Louisville coming up this weekend. Sooner baseball is off to a 3-0 start. Complete series sweep of Lehigh. Wednesday, they'll be at Globe Life Field in Arlington, taking on UT Arlington. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday games scheduled in Round Rock, Texas against Minnesota Friday, Oregon State Saturday, and Virginia on Sunday. Thunder basketball resumes again on Friday. They will play at Utah Friday night at 8:30, and then they will play Sunday at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shea and J-Dub took part in the All-Star festivities over the weekend. Didn't really watch hardly any of that. But once again, that's what's happening in the world of sports. Jesse Crittenden will join us, by the way, at 1:20 today. We'll get his take on the Sooner sports scene, obviously. We'll talk some basketball, mix in a little football. But softball, man, looking really good at 10-0 And you can talk about the schedule. I do think San Diego State is shown to be pretty good. Long Beach was pretty decent the day they beat Long Beach, of course. Baylor was ranked 23rd or 24th in the country. They're good. We knew they would be good. It's Patty Gasso, after all. They're going to play good softball, but maybe even a little bit better than I thought to start out the season at 10-0. So there you go. But let's talk, ladies and gentlemen, about the downer at the Lloyd Noble Center. And I think we have the Sooner basketball fans' reaction over the last 20 seconds of that game ready to go.
Damn it! Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
That was you. I know that was you. Yes, I'm talking to you. That was your reaction because that, ladies and gentlemen, was a disaster. Sooners up 79-74, 24 seconds left in the game. OU outscored 8-0 the rest of the way. This is Porter Moser with Kevin Henry after the game talking about the Sooners' collapse at Lloyd Noble over the weekend.
Coach, this is a tough loss. What are some of your initial thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this was just the way we finished the game against the press. We were up 5, and with 24 seconds left, they called timeout, and we were in a no-jump situation, meaning we're not going to jump on contest any shots, and we jumped. We jumped and fouled a three-point shooter to get a 4-point play, and it's just tough. And the press, we literally have gone over that. We would bypass, and it's just a situation we kind of had one timeout, and if we didn't get it in, I was going to call it, and if we got in trouble, I was going to call it. And we run the press attack, cut, and we just kind of froze. 3 guys stood right there together. And we had 2 freshmen at the time, and then Jalen, a senior, we should be like, get out, but that's on me. We had one timeout, and we got the ball. We run bypass shooter, but you got to cut, and space it. And we just kind of all 3 guys lumped together and just didn't cut to our spots. And then we kind of panic passed and threw it away. Those are self-destructive things. You can't jump into the shooter, and we had some self-destructive plays. That's what, it should have been even more separation than 5. But it was 5 with 24 seconds left. They called timeout. No jump situation. We fouled a 3-point shooter.
There you go. A total disaster at the Lloyd Noble Center. And Parker Thune, this is going to take the greatest comeback since Lazarus to get in the NCAA tournament now.
It might take a greater comeback than Lazarus.
It might.
If we're being completely transparent here, Steely. The saddest part about Oklahoma's collapse on Saturday, Steely, and I don't know if you found yourself thinking this, but it was completely predictable. In fact, you almost expected it. My parents were in town over the weekend, and so we were at home watching the game. Of course, Jesse Crittenden and Brody Lusk do a great job covering basketball for us at OU Insider, so I get to watch a lot of the games from home. Got to watch this one with my parents. And, of course, both my parents are OU alumni, big OU people. They don't watch a ton of basketball. They watch all the football games, but they'll watch basketball if it's on in Nebraska, and if it kind of fits in conveniently with their schedules. They don't see every single OU Hoops game. And you get to the final 90 seconds, and Oklahoma's up by 2 possessions, and LSU can't really close the gap, and they're going, oh, looks like OU's going to pull this out. And I'm sitting there telling them, no, just watch. They will find a way to lose this. I promise you, they will find a way to lose this. And it happened in the most agonizing fashion imaginable, but they found a way to lose it, Steely, against an LSU team that came into the contest with a 1-10 record in conference play. Steely, you can stick a fork in this team. They're not making the NCAA tournament.
No.
It was already the narrowest. I mean, we're talking a path that was inches wide going into Saturday.
We said before this game, right? It was the nail in the coffin game. If they lose that game, well, sorry. They're shoveling dirt on the coffin right now. It's a very sad tale. Who's going to deliver the eulogy? Do you want to do it right now? But look, they've got 6 games left, home games against Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Missouri, away at Florida tomorrow night, one of the best teams in the country. They have Ole Miss on the road in Oxford, and then they wrap it up in Austin against Texas. You got to find 4 victories there, and that still kind of would have you somewhat on the bubble, depending on what happens in the conference tournament.
No,
if
you won 4 games out of the 6 that Oklahoma has remaining,
you're probably
at that point,
get it.
You're in the tournament.
Yeah.
However, there's a 0% chance that Oklahoma's winning 4 of their last 6 games. There's a very slim chance that they're winning 2 of their last 6 games, even 1.
And there might be a chance that they're going 3-15.
The contract details for one Porter Moser were released today, thanks to an open records request from our good friend Eric Bailey at the Tulsa World.
Way to go, EB.
$3.3 million is Porter Moser's salary this year. If Oklahoma goes 3-15, I'll do the math for you, Steely. That's $1.1 million per SEC win. And that's not going to cut it at the University of Oklahoma. Now, I will say this. The collapse against LSU is not entirely Porter's fault. Because at a certain point, guys have to make plays and not do bonehead things.
The leader of your team, Jalen Moore, who is no doubt the unquestioned leader of this team. Great kid. Everybody talks about what he's done, presence in the locker room. You know, everybody on that roster looks up to him. You know, he made some mistakes down the stretch. Fears turned it over. And again, your best 2 players, I'm not trying to be too critical. I'm just reporting the facts. Your best 2 players were 8 of 25 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, and had, you know, a costly foul, a horrible turnover down the stretch. If your best 2 players can't play any better than that down the stretch, you're probably going to lose, right?
Now, again, I don't think it was entirely Porter's fault the way that the game ended on Saturday, because you expect your best players to make plays and not actively diminish your chances of winning a basketball game in the most important moments of the contest. Now, with that concession noted, Steely, it all falls back on Porter Moser, ultimately, as the head coach of the Oklahoma men's basketball program. And at what point do you look at this honestly and say nothing has changed over the last 4 years?
Right
we have
now.
seen Oklahoma make the same self-inflicted mistakes. We have seen the same issues with establishing roster continuity. We have seen the same inconsistency, and certainly what borders on ineptitude in conference play. They're 15-33 in conference under Moser. At what point do you look at all of that and say, all right, it is simply time to make a change in leadership? Because as part of EB's open records request, it was revealed that Oklahoma would owe Porter Moser in excess of $7 million to cut bait. That's a lot of money to fire a basketball coach, Steely. And certainly that's more money than Oklahoma would like to pay to start over with their hoops program. But at what point is there simply nothing left to try? Nothing left to salvage? And it's unfortunate that this has gone down the way that it has, because I think Porter Moser is a great human being. He wants to win at Oklahoma. He's put in a ton of effort to try and win at Oklahoma, but it just isn't working.
No, and look, Porter knows that. Porter is well aware of what's happening right now. Am I saying it's 100% a done deal that he's gone? No, but it's pretty close, because you're in the toughest conference in college basketball. You get one game, you look at home game against a team that had won one SEC game, and you can't get it done when you have a 5-point lead with 24 seconds left in the game. All right, one more from Porter. The Sooners, all they have to do is go to Gainesville and play one of the best teams in the country in Florida on the road tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on ESPN2. Here's Porter trying to talk about what he can do to try and get this team to bounce back.
This one's tough. I told him sometimes, Lord puts you in positions in life you don't understand. Yeah. And that's my faith. That's what we're in this position. How that went down the last 26 seconds. And the only thing I know how to do in my life is to keep pouring into these young men, keep trying to teach these young men and bounce back. And the thing I told them is, I know this one hurts. We lost an opportunity tonight, but there's still a lot of opportunities of where we're at. And that's what we got to focus in on. Very, very tough in the locker room, how that last 24 seconds went down.
No doubt about that, and that may have been it again for I think it is it for Oklahoma in the tournament this year, and it might very well be the end for Porter Moser. We shall see. By the way, what did you think about what Dari Noka had to say? Worked in Tulsa, OU guy, talking about, OU hasn't been good enough in attendance, obviously in basketball. Clearly, I searched all over the audio today. But the only audio I've seen out there was Travis's, and that was horrible. So not Travis, but I mean it was.
There you go. Steely and Travis beef is back.
I'm just saying the audio was really bad when you recorded off a TV.
Oh, okay, yes, sure. Naturally, it's going to be bad, but
I was hoping.
I would like to perpetuate the notion that Steely and Travis are actively beefing.
Hey, yeah, let's get that going, man. You and Captain Blackbeard, man, went at it a little bit.
Oh,
and
forget that guy.
Your ship sunk Captain Blackbeard's beard ship in Battleship weekend.
Now, I will, regarding Dari's, and I wouldn't call it a rant because it was only about 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
A rant is several minutes. A rant is extended. This could probably better be categorized as a diatribe. Now, I'm not going to try and convince anybody to agree with Dari Noka. You're welcome to your own opinions. I will say he has absolutely earned the right to express that opinion as somebody that graduated from the University of Oklahoma, has built a very prominent career in the sports media industry, and wears his love for the University of Oklahoma on his sleeve.
He does.
Very publicly. And so we're running up against a break. We can circle back around to this on the other side because I do have some thoughts on the matter. I assume you do as well. But broadly, what I would say is that you don't have to agree with Dari. I would ask that you concede that he has an opinion and a voice that matters, and he has certainly earned the right to voice that opinion. He's got enough skin in the game to be able to do so and weigh in candidly on the state of OU hoops specifically.
All right, Lasher Home Comfort Systems, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for sponsoring our first hour, as you always do, right here on Steelman and Thune, 405-579-3113 for Lasher Home Comfort Systems, home comfort you can trust. Break time right here. Coming back, we'll hit the YouTube chat. We'll also hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Damon Lane coming in at 12:30. Talk about this week in weather for about 5 minutes. We're going to announce, again, officially our new partnership with Channel 5 there. So we'll have that coming up as well. Jesse Crittenden at 1:20. And we're coming right back here on the home of Sooner fans.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Oklahoma baseball single game tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a packed 31-game home schedule this spring at L. Dale Mitchell Park. Seats start at just $10 per game, with exciting promotions like $2 Tuesdays, Firework Fridays, and Sunday Fun Day for Conference Series. Guaranteed fun for the whole family. Check out the game schedule and more information at Soonersports.com. Join us at the ballpark and Boomer Sooner.
Tired of your current living situation? Now is the best time to make a move. Interest rates are dropping and Home Creations is offering the best financing around with rates as low as 3.625%. This will save you hundreds per month on your brand new Home Creations home. Live like a champion today by calling Holly at 405-364-9999 for full details.
364-9999 means Home Creations.
APR 6.508%.
It's time for your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO 5 First Alert Weather. Brought to you by Cavens Group. Do you have a water emergency? Give Cavens a call at 405-573-3048.
From the First Alert Weather Center, meteorologist Jonathan Condor with your KOCO 5 News weather forecast. Today is your last day to enjoy dry and comfortable conditions. We're going to see highs today in the 40s with a partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky and a south breeze at about 10 to 15, gusting about 20 miles an hour. Tonight, that Arctic front comes through. Temperatures will tank all day on Tuesday, falling through the teens, and we're going to look for an icy mix in the morning, changing to snow in the afternoon.
That was your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO 5 First Alert Weather, brought to you by Cavens. Did you have a water emergency that you fear might turn into mold? Give Cavens Group a call at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com today.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
OU softball, baseball, and gymnastics offer great opportunities for you to get out for some exciting action and support your Sooners. Going to an OU event or game? Balfour of Norman on Campus Corner invites you to stop by and get some new OU gear. Whether it's a softball jersey with your favorite player or just a new lucky shirt or hat to wear to the game, Balfour has everything you need to be in style and showing your colors. Cheer for the Sooners in the best and newest styles in Sooner sportswear. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour continues to be Sooner fans' favorite OU store and has everything you need. Balfour has the latest styles and fashion trends for men, women, and children. You can find something for every Sooner fan. When it comes to hats, they have you covered with more than 100 styles to choose from. Even OU socks, so you're literally covered from head to toe. Graduation is right around the corner. They have OU diploma frames in stock. Or you can always get a gift card so they can choose the perfect gift for themselves. Come see us on the corner or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
So you want to create your future, discover a path worth traveling down, find a career to get excited about. For decades, Moore Norman Tech has been training talented, skilled individuals, empowering them to step into a career that fuels not only their life, but the Oklahoma workforce. These individuals are the heartbeat of this state's economy. Individuals just like you. Create your future today at Moore Norman Tech.
Man. I'm here usually 3 hours before the show, and at first people are like, what are you doing in here so early? It's like, why?
We bump into each other about once a year at the Oklahoma Association Broadcasters event last year up in Tulsa, and we just stood there and just chatted and chatted and chatted for a while. We're only competitors when the red light's on. But when we're in person, we'll chat about all things, and I think it's kind of awkward for some people to see all three of us standing together at the event or downstairs at the casino and saying like, "Wait, you mean you guys are fine? Like there's no like anchor man like fisticuffs here?" No.
Well, it's kind of like everybody on Twitter. They expect that, oh man, they gotta hate each other because there's so much vitriol on Twitter with all these idiots out there now. They used to think, oh yeah, surely they've got to fight if they get together in the same room, right? That's kind of our society these days. Channel 5. Jessica's still there.
She is, yes.
How many people are still there? Because Oklahoma City's always been a good media market, still there that you're working with when you first started.
So Jessica's there, and a bunch of our managers are still there. But the thing about the Oklahoma City market is that first off, from a weather standpoint, like there is nothing bigger.
Yeah, it's the major leagues for a weather market. You can talk about, well, it's it's a top 40 market. But no, in terms of weather, it is the major leagues.
Oh, it is number one. So in television, we have all these different market sizes and whatnot. New York being number one, and I think like Glendive, Montana being number 210. But when it comes to weather, Oklahoma City is number one. Now, from a news standpoint, I think we're like the 41st biggest TV market. But this market, first off, from a weather standpoint, the world turns to OKC when we are doing our thing. Hollywood has made 2 movies about our weather out here, but also the talent that comes through here because we do so much breaking news, so much breaking weather. Other markets, bigger cities will see what media is like in Oklahoma City and say, like, there's some really talented people out there. Shortly after the Moore tornado back in 2013, Good Morning America had a job opening, and they called up my news director and said, "Hey, tell us about this guy Damon." And my news director said, "Well, you're happy to have him on weekends to fill in, but he's not going anywhere." And I didn't want to leave, but like I said, when weather's happening out here, the world turns and watches what Oklahoma City does because we have storm chasers and helicopters and all that flying around, and people that will go on vacation, say like down to Florida in the summertime, they'll watch weather coverage down there and they're like, wait, they're not doing it like they do it in Oklahoma City. So we have created this idea of what broadcasting should look like, serving the viewers at home, and I love it out here.
All right, you're on the Home Sooner Fans now, so tell us about your history of fandom, sports-wise.
So, college-wise, so my first degree I got in communication from Old Dominion University down in Norfolk, and then UNC Asheville is where I got my meteorology degree. And so, from a sports standpoint, I'll root for my alma mater there, but absolutely love. First off, being in Moore, and I can literally walk out on my back patio and I can see the OU football stadium. So if I'm not at a game, there's usually a little bit of a delay on TV, and when the fireworks go off, if they get a touchdown, so I'll know, like, oh wait, I just saw the fireworks go off at the stadium. I think there's a touchdown coming in about 10 seconds.
We need more fireworks with OU football. There's no doubt about it. But all right, so what's the plan? What's the latest on? Is there any worry about the funding coming for the National Weather Service and some of the stuff we're hearing there?
I hope not. Every year, there's always something that pops up. And obviously we have a wonderful relationship at Channel 5 with the National Weather Service, and whatnot. And they've gone through these type of scares before. So I hope not, because what the Weather Service does, especially out here in Oklahoma, is just incredible. We have such a good partnership and communicating with them. And it really takes all of us working together in order to keep every single Oklahoman at home safe. The Weather Service helps put out information. They need broadcasters to help relay that information out to the masses, because despite all the changes that there have been and I think media over the last decade, still the number one way to get your message out the fastest to the most amount of people is radio and television. And so I hope that they're okay down there.
Well, Damon, I appreciate it. Pleasure meeting you, and we've got to get back to Angry Sooner Fans.
I know. So, but hey, I will. I absolutely love having you all in this neighborhood. I felt like I was driving down here. It was only like a 5-mile drive, and so glad to be here with you all, and can't wait to see what we end up doing in the future.
Most accurate forecast, 13 years running. Damon Lane, thank you very much, and pleasure to be in business with you.
Absolutely.
All right, Parker Thune, do you want to hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line? You want to talk about the Dari situation first?
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to field a bunch of angry texts?
You got a good feel for what's happening. You want to go to the Angry Sooner fan base?
Well, I'll say this first and foremost about Dari's opinion on the OU fan base and the lack of support for OU hoops is that, again, Dari has earned the right, certainly, as a guy that paid his dues at the University of Oklahoma, to voice that opinion. Not everybody has to agree with it, but his point, and I think it's a good one, and I think it's a pertinent one, is that SEC fan bases, Steely, show up. They show up regardless of whether your team's winning or whether your team has fallen upon some hard times, as OU Hoops has. And look, the OU attendance predicament is not a new issue.
No,
that did not start with Porter Moser.
We've been talking about this for years and years and years and years off and on.
Yeah, and again, like I refuse to hear the argument that, well, it's because OU men's basketball isn't winning, because baseball has had one of the strongest programs in America under Skip Johnson. There were 832 people at the Sooners opener.
Well, again, and I saw that list over the weekend, and it was, not to make, everything an excuse, but it was, like 38 degrees or
it was cold.
Close. And again, it started at 2 o'clock, stuff like that. There are more hillbillies in SEC country, and hillbillies are always looking for something to do when they're not drinking their moonshine. So they go out to all these games. The only market really, I guess you could say maybe Georgia to an extent, but Nashville, they've got they've got some competition there pro sports wise. But I still don't has the Thunder been a factor? Yes, but I just don't think it's been an overwhelming factor.
And to be clear, I don't want to paint with too broad a brush. I know there are many people listening who attend as many OU games as they possibly can, or as many games as their budget allows. And for that, you are to be commended. I'm sure everybody in the OU athletic department would express their sincere thanks for your support of OU athletics, in as much as it is reasonable with your time and your financial status, etc. But to the fan that has plenty of disposable income and that could just as easily make the short trek down Highway 9, or as Steely calls it, the Highway to Hell, to the Lloyd Noble Center, as watch the game on television, it's that type of individual, Steely, that I want to challenge. Because Oklahoma is in the SEC now, and as Dari pointed out, at every single venue and at every single institution across the SEC, you are dealing with fans that pack out those arenas and those stadiums for every single game, regardless of whether their team is and their program is currently fielding a winner or not. And you also have to give Oklahoma something to recruit to. Again, in as much as it depends on you. For instance, I grew up in Nebraska. I was never a Nebraska fan, but I was surrounded by them. Nebraska football has sucked for a decade. Those fans have never stopped showing up, 90,000 strong, every Saturday in Lincoln, Nebraska, to watch the Cornhuskers. And you know who takes note of that? Recruits do. They see that, hey, maybe Nebraska hasn't had the strongest program as of late, but if I go there, I am going to be adored by this fan base. They're going to treat me as a celebrity, and I'm going to get to play in some raucous home environments if I choose to be a Cornhusker. If you're an OU basketball recruit, what is your perception of the university and the program right now? You're sitting there thinking, man, if we don't win, if we scuffle at all, we're going to be playing in front of 7,000 fans. Empty seats all over the place. They're going to stop caring. They're going to stop showing up. And they're just going to start angry tweeting at us and our coaching staff.
Well, and the other part of that is you're starting to hear more people saying, and you hope the big money donors aren't doing this, but I ain't sending them a single cent unless I see something change, right? Which in this day and age, that's not good. I understand the frustration. If you're a Sooner fan, I 100% get it. You just because a lot of this is also, you were told by some people, yeah, Oklahoma coming to the SEC, they're going to get a rude awakening. And OU fans are like, yeah, we're Oklahoma. We're a blue blood, okay? We're going to be fine. And then you get punched around your first year football-wise. And, you're seeing the same movie again in basketball, fourth year under Porter. And Sooner fans, they've just had it in a lot of ways. By the way, on our YouTube chat today, how confident are you that OU football and men's basketball will bounce back? We have three options there. This is OU. Give it a year or two. That's at 42%. Too soon to tell is at 36%. And panic, we are the next Nebraska, currently sitting at 21%. So there you go.
Sad basketball fan Josh is sad on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. He says, South Carolina is 0-12 in league play and had 8,000 people in attendance on Tuesday. Our fan base just sucks. It's football, and whatever sport is winning. And that's largely true. And I would go as far as to say, if you feel convicted and you feel attacked by that statement from sad basketball fan Josh, it's probably because you're culpable. I don't think anybody who attends as many OU athletic events and lives locally and attends as many events as their budget and their time allows feels like sad basketball fan Josh is talking to them. If that strikes a chord, it's probably because it should.
OU basketball fans are fair weather fans. Plain and simple. And look, there are a lot of fair weather fan bases out there. But in the SEC, a lot of these, they just show up. They just show up for these games. And I've heard every excuse, LNC, games start too early, games start too late, tired of losing basketball. And I get some of those. I totally get it. The LNC is a dump right now. They've tried to keep it as modern and updated as they can, which it's not even close. The practice facility, some of the other stuff's all right, but it's an outdated arena. And now, in the city of Norman, that we're more interested in building homeless shelters than helping out, building a new basketball arena. And I know those priorities sound whack, but, there are just a lot of challenges. There are a lot of challenges. But the bottom line is OU basketball fans are fair weather fans. Right now, I can see why they wouldn't want to go, because they've been disappointed for a while. You know what I'm saying? And the prime example was Saturday. Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
And admittedly, to be clear, I am not blaming the fans, and I don't think anybody is blaming the fans for the losing product. The losing product is not your fault.
No.
That is not your fault, and everybody shares the blame on the OU end. It's on the coaching staff, it's on the players, it's on the administration. As several have brought up on the text line, I guess OU honored a bunch of past basketball alumni at halftime on Saturday, and there was nothing put out there to market the whole ceremony. They didn't introduce the players individually. They were just like, hey, everybody wave to the crowd, and that was that. Which, if you're going to do something like that, it would stand to reason that you put something out there in the public eye to make people aware that, hey, this is happening. We're going to honor some past greats.
That sounds really weird. There must have been an oversight there, because OU's usually really good at that, right?
Typically, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good about getting the word out on that stuff. All right, we're going to take a break. 405-651-3439. We'll hit the YouTube chat as well. 405-655-651-3439. Jeez, oh, man. Well, you didn't take your Metamucil or your Geritol today. I got to go hit that during the commercial break. We're also going to hear from Bob Stoops talking about the return of Kevin Wilson to Oklahoma football. That's next right here on the Ref.
The word is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money, so say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Every moment counts if you're at risk or living with lung cancer. And anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. It causes more cancer deaths than breast, colon, and prostate combined. And while there may be moments where you question your next step, through it all, Go-To for Lung Cancer is here for you. We are your community. For screening, treatment, and survivorship support, Go-To is your go-to. Confronting lung cancer starts here. Visit goto.org.
Schumacher Law Group, when experience matters. Tracy Schumacher is a former prosecutor and former district judge. Whether it's a probate challenge, criminal charges, or contentious divorce proceedings, experience matters. The attorneys at Schumacher Law Group provide compassionate, knowledgeable advice, all while fighting for your best interests. Find Schumacher Law Group online at lawgroupok.com or call 405-701-1882. Hometown lawyers ready to fight for you when experience matters.
Built for success? How about Built by Law? Law Custom Homes and Construction is here to build your next home. With over 30 years of experience, Barry and Angela Law pride themselves on building the best quality homes in Norman. Locally owned and operated, Law Custom Homes and Construction can also help you with carpet, tile, siding, windows, granite, and roofing. Don't wait. Call Barry Law at 405-919-7118 and let Law Custom Homes build your next quality home. That's 405-919-7118.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
Thanks to generous community support, Wounded Warrior Project has helped post 9/11 veterans and their families since 2003. Through no-cost physical and mental health services, legislative advocacy, career assistance, and life skill training, we're there every step of the journey.
It's possible to feel understood.
To get support when it's needed most.
And now I know anything is possible.
And we're just getting started. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Are you tired of overpaying for insurance? Make the switch today and put more money back in your pocket. Right Way Insurance offers unbeatable rates and exclusive discounts. Don't settle for high premiums. Contact Right Way Insurance at 405-607-6014 and start saving on the coverage you need. Affordable protection is just a phone call away with Right Way Insurance. That's Right Way Insurance, your trusted partner at 405-607-6014.
All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We'll go to the YouTube chat here in a minute. Hey, big news from Riverwind Casino. 2 new shows to tell you about for the month of May. They announced the Randy Rogers Band will be at the Showplace Theater on a Saturday night, May 10th, and Scotty McCreery will be there at the Showplace on a Friday night, May 18th, or I'm sorry, May 16th for Scotty McCreery. So Randy Rogers Band Saturday, May 10th, Scotty McCreery on a Friday night, May 16th, in addition to the other great shows we have coming up, including a show Friday and a show Saturday at the Showplace. Aaron Lewis and the Stayliners coming up Friday night, Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen coming up Saturday night, Gladys Knight later in February on a Friday night, February 28th, and March 38 special, Bonnie Raitt in Chicago in April, America and Boys to Men, and now in May, Patti LaBelle. The Randy Rogers Band Saturday, May 10th, and Scotty McCreery on a Friday night, May 16th. Get your tickets online at riverwind.com or at the casino box office there at Riverwind Casino, and get out there and play with your wild card today and get some extra entries for the 80K Cupid's Quest drawings happening on Friday night. When you play with your wild card, Mondays and Tuesdays, you can get 5 times the entries by getting some points on that wild card. Okay, real quick, OU is calling out, ladies and gentlemen. The Sooners were calling out for help on the offensive side of the ball, I guess, over the weekend.
Wilson, where are you? Wilson! Wilson! Wilson!
Kevin Wilson is coming aboard, ladies and gentlemen, as an offensive analyst for the University of Oklahoma. Did a really good job his first tenure at OU. Of course, the Sooners are very excited about Ben Arbuckle calling the offense as the new OC this year with John Mateer under center. But if you can get Kevin Wilson as an analyst, that is a pretty good get. Here's what Bob Stoops had to say on the Stoops review this morning with T-Row and TJ about Kevin Wilson joining the Oklahoma staff now as an offensive analyst.
I think it's great. Love Kevin Wilson.
Everybody knows the 9 years he spent with us. I think the last 5 or 6 he was the offensive coordinator and set records when with Sam Bradford, I guess it had been in 2008. Last 5 games of the year over 60 points. So anyhow, he's got a great experience, easy to work with, really smart guy. He'd be an asset to anybody to have in your building, and and hopefully that's the way it works for him.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think that Kevin Wilson, again, if you can get him in an analyst role, that's pretty good. He's been obviously Tulsa's a tough job. Didn't work out there, but, past success with Oklahoma was tremendous. All right, 405-651-3439. On the YouTube chat, let's hit this, and then the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Jody said Arkansas had the same weather and drew 9,000. The hillbilly crap is – ad pops up. Hang on. This stuff is just driving me absolutely insane.
Hey, to follow up on the Kevin Wilson conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
Steely, let me take you back about a month to a conversation that we had on this very station, on these very airwaves. You remember at that time what I said it felt like the one thing OU was missing on the current staff was?
What was that?
An experienced head coach that can help manage crucial in-game situations.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Wilson certainly fits that bill, doesn't he? 8 seasons as a head coach.
Yes.
Certainly a familiarity with this staff and with Brent Venables. And to our understanding, and we were first to report the news at OUinsider.com last night, shameless plug for our brand. But to our understanding, Kevin Wilson is being brought on as the new Matt Wells. And if you recall, when Matt Wells was at Oklahoma, specifically in 2023, when he really took on the full-fledged role as Brent Venables' right-hand man when it came to managing the game and dealing with some of those crucial scenarios where, you got to think about the clock and you got to think about the situation on the field and those little details, little nuances that Brent Venables himself, admittedly, has been a little bit prone to lose in the shuffle. Matt Wells did a great job in that role in 2023. Then he left to go be the co-offensive coordinator at Kansas State, was recently promoted to OC. And OU didn't have anybody filling his role, his departed role, his former role in 2024. Now as you look ahead to 2025, it feels like that's exactly why you brought in Kevin Wilson, to just be another hand on the tiller, if you will. I don't know that he's going to have a ton of input offensively with the game plan and all that. Like, Ben Arbuckle's going to have all the creative control. This is Ben Arbuckle's offense. That's what it's going to be. But for Kevin Wilson, somebody that, with where he's at in his coaching career, he probably needs to go lay low for a year or two after what happened at Tulsa, kind of like Matt Wells did after he washed out at Texas Tech before he bounces back. It happened for Wells with the K-State job. It can certainly happen for Wilson. But OU is a nice, familiar, comfortable place where Wilson can just kind of come and show up and do what they need him to do and hang around in the backdrop, add value where he can, and then be ready to make the jump back into an on-field coaching role within the next couple of years.
Well, clearly it's going to be Ben Arbuckle's show.
Yes.
And he's one of the bright young minds in college football. But if you can get an idea or two from Kevin Wilson, you should be open to that. I don't know how much input he'll have, but he's obviously had a lot of success as an OC. All right, since guys, I'm trying my best with the YouTube stuff, all right? Sometimes it pops up, then it goes away, but it's good to go. They've got an old man answering the YouTube chat. I'm doing my best. I will get better. Jody was saying Arkansas had the same weather, drew 9,000. The hillbilly crap is garbage. When did Oklahoma become a cultural mecca? I'm just saying there are more hillbillies per capita. It's a joke, Jody. I'm just saying. I've said that in the SEC. There are even more hillbillies in other states than Oklahoma. Oklahoma's far from a cultural mecca. OU fans are fair weather fans in all sports. They can be, yeah. Gunny says, how's my favorite curmudgeon and the birthday boy doing today? Yeah, see, I've been so confused because they've got me looking at 95 different things now instead of just concentrating on radio. Parker Thune, 26 today, is that right?
No comment.
What do you mean, no comment? You don't celebrate your own birthday?
It's the first birthday, Steely, that I'm kind of genuinely not excited for. It's like, oh, I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20.
Geez.
Now, when I get to 30,
to pull my mom. You're not old, Michael. Yes, I feel old.
Yeah, no, you are old. To be clear,
I am.
When I get to 30, I feel like, and I was having this conversation with TJ Perry, that might be the last great birthday that I have. That's really the last milestone that you even somewhat look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
From there on out, you're just aging. Hopefully gracefully.
You got years and years and years. I will not hear any of that. I thought that was your birthday song there for a second. Well, the Chili Peppers are coming in to do some birthday music for Parker. All right, Randy, take the NIL dollars and concentrate it on football, baseball, softball, gymnastics, and women's basketball and wrestling. Spend the money on what we do best, and that's not men's basketball. Well, we'll see what happens in April when apparently we're getting the $21.5 million to spread throughout the athletic department. The standard, based on what you're hearing out there, is mainly big-time schools who are serious about sports in the P4 are going to put about 75% of that on football, right?
I just cannot take the whole screw basketball crowd seriously. Because this is a basketball program at the University of Oklahoma that has rich tradition.
Mm-hmm.
They are less than a decade removed from their last Final Four trip. Yes, as it stands, they are 4 years removed from their last trip to the NCAA tournament, but that's an aberration when you look at the long and distinguished history of OU basketball. If they miss the tournament, which, let's be honest, they're missing the tournament here in 2025, it will be the first time in the 64-team era that Oklahoma has missed the NCAA tournament in 4 straight years, which, again, is just another...
Unacceptable.
Yes.
Okay, you want to get a couple...
another check in the boxes for people who want to get rid of Porter Moser.
No doubt.
Understandably. But basketball is worth investing in. And I would like to get to the point where OU basketball is great again. We need someone to make OU basketball great again. And I don't know necessarily where that needs to start, but I know what it needs to include, Steely, and it needs to include an arena upgrade. At this point, that probably doesn't mean renovating the Lloyd Noble Center. At this point, that probably means building a new arena elsewhere.
And the arena deal looks like it's in big trouble right now. By the way, Stevie G on YouTube, I bet if the beat writers of OU decided to do a boxing event, it would sell more tickets than men's basketball. Maybe.
Who would win? Boxing.
Well, it depends on what divisions you're in. Is everybody in the same division?
Just open?
Mm-hmm.
Straight bracket? Who would win at boxing? Does anybody on the beat have a mixed martial arts background?
Eric Bailey's too nice.
Eric Bailey would not last long.
Mm-hmm.
He is simply too nice. He would hit you and then apologize for it.
Eddie would probably fight dirty, you know. Well, what you had an exhibition against Captain Blackbeard over the weekend. You knocked him out, man. But he's not an insider.
TJ Eckert could probably hold his own.
Is TJ really a beat writer, though? The beat.
I'm just thinking of the people that show up to press conferences.
Yeah.
You're thinking
TJ would be one of the favorites in Vegas, but he's a pretty nice guy. But he's in good shape. You know, he works out and stuff, eats well, stuff like that. All right, you want to get a few more texts in off the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line?
A 918 listener says, was LNC full during Billy Ball?
For the most part, yes. There were, particularly for the big games, it was always full. There were times I remember showing up if they played, I don't know, McNeese State or something. Of course, Joe Dumars lit them up and had a huge game that night, 39 or 40, I believe it was. But there would be some empty seats. But for the most part, yes. Not even close to what it is now. But Billy, again, if Porter is going to be gone, and I would say that's the very likely scenario, find somebody who plays exciting up and down the court basketball as well. Whether it's Will Wade, whoever you hear him mention, Hollis Price or Quantas White or Kellen Sampson. Sooners want to reach back to that era. But I don't know. And here's the other thing. College basketball is not what it used to be. Because you used to be able to identify with players 2 or 3, maybe in most cases 4 years. Not now. It's not. The game's not as good. You're just seeing new players, particularly at OU. If it's Duke or somebody else, it's a little bit different, obviously. But the loyalty to the program is not the same because the players' loyalty is not the same. I think that's a small part of it, a very small part of it. But college basketball isn't the game it used to be. Some of these teams, like the Vegas team with Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Anderson Hunt, Greg Anthony, the UCLA teams, the MJ North Carolina teams, Houston didn't even win a national championship. Those teams would wipe the floor with the best teams in college basketball today. Another hour to go. We'll be right back.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network.
The all-new Eskridge Honda is here, right in time for the new year. Our new building is awesome, just like these deals. Pay just $259 per month on new 2024 Accords. Come in today to get the best deals all month long. Now conveniently located off I-35 and 89th. Just look for the blue tents on the roof. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
2024 Accord LX, $259 per month, 3-year, 10,000-mile lease, $399 plus TTNL and first month's payment due at signing. Ends 2/28/25.
Hi Norman, it's DJ Newsom with Alliance Bank, your community-driven, friendly neighborhood bank. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, lead a nonprofit organization, or just someone seeking a better banking experience, we've got you covered. From business to personal banking, we tailor our services to suit everyone's needs. We believe in making banking easy and enjoyable. Visit our Norman location or call us today at 405-286-5750. Alliance Bank, banking tailored to your needs. Member FDIC.
Built for success? How about Built by Law? Law Custom Homes and Construction is here to build your next home. With over 30 years of experience, Barry and Angela Law pride themselves on building the best quality homes in Norman. Locally owned and operated, Law Custom Homes and Construction can also help you with carpet, tile, siding, windows, granite, and roofing. Don't wait. Call Barry Law at 405-919-7118 and let Law Custom Homes build your next quality home. That's 405-919-7118.
When students struggle because they are hungry
or fall behind because they lack school supplies,
a caring adult can make all the difference.
Especially someone from the community.
Someone who knows the students
and the obstacles they might be facing.
At Communities in Schools, our site coordinators surround students with a community of support
to ensure that they have everything they need to engage in learning.
We go all in for kids, all day, every day.
To learn more, visit communitiesinschools.org.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
Children who've experienced abuse or neglect face a frightening, profound unknown. Courtrooms, foster care, new schools. No child should face these alone. Trained and supported court-appointed special advocates or CASA volunteers advocate in court on behalf of these children. They stay with each child until the case is closed and the child is in a safe, permanent home. Volunteers make a life-changing difference, but more children need our help. Lend your voice and change a child's story today. Learn how you can help right here in your community. Visit southcentralcasa.org. Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman at 405-310-3189. Let them prepare your party. You'll be the favorite guest when you bring a Chick-fil-A nugget tray, sandwiches, or a mac and cheese tray. It'll be their pleasure to serve you, whether dining in, carrying out, catering, or delivering delightfulness to your front door. Box meals to nugget trays to gallons of lemonade and tea. They have plenty to offer for your next class party, team celebration, or family gathering. You'll be the big-time guest when you bring Chick-fil-A. Call 405-310-3189. And remember, eat more chicken.
Okay, antibodies, huddle up. We're a great team, but the flu is dominating. The good news is the human we're protecting just got his flu shots. That means all of us antibodies have strong new gear that will help us fight and defend against the flu. We must win so that our human can stay healthy and help protect the people he cares about most.
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect yourself and others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome into hour number 2 here on this Monday. Steelman and Thune, hour number 2, a presentation of High Tower Clinical, bringing clinical trial opportunities to the state of Oklahoma. No cost, no insurance needed to take part. Your meds are provided for free. That's a heck of a deal. Patients also compensated for their time. Located conveniently in various metro area locations. Coming soon to other areas around the great state of Oklahoma. HighTowerClinical.com or call or text 405-831-5905 if you want some more information. That is HighTowerClinical.com. And again, if you want more info, you can check out the website or call or text this number, 405-831-5905. By the way, we do have a soundbite. Captain Blackbeard sailed his ship into OU insider waters.
Never a good decision.
Yesterday, and Vessel Thune and the occupants were ready for battle.
Hoist the colors. Hoist the colors.
Hoist the colors!
And the battle was on, and Blackbeard's ship sank within like 20 minutes. So anyway, you had to defend yourself, right? I saw that.
did.
I'm like, what are we doing here?
I am guilty of having
What are
been
we
nice
doing
and
here?
friendly to a fraudster for altogether too long, which I will take responsibility for. But, yeah,
What amazes me, too, are the people who want to see that. I mean, I'm not blaming you. If you have to defend yourself, you're accused of something. But this is going to be great. You know, get your popcorn ready. You people really need to think about what's important in your life. And if it's that BS, you need to get another one. Because I've told you, and yes, old man rant, and you can say whatever you want. So I had to block some people over the weekend. There was one. Anybody know this Johnny Ringo dude from Florida? Does he follow anybody? So I had put something out about OU basketball, and he said, "You watch the NBA. Worthless opinion, Dip." Called me Dip something. So I earned an instant block. And again, if I've always told those people, nobody is blocking you because they're soft. I mean, there might be somebody. First of all, it's not soft. Why would anyone want to deal with a moron? Ever. If you saw a known moron walk up to your home and you saw on the Ring app, who's there? Known moron. You're not going to open the door. They block you because you're an idiot or a loser. That's why. That's it. Kirk Herbstreit, you know, all these people. Herbstreit's soft, man. He blocked me. He's just soft. Yeah, the guy played major college football, has been the most successful guy in his field for a while. You got tired of his dog or whatever. I get it. Got emotional once. You thought that was soft. He blocked you because you're an idiot, not because he's soft. So some of these people, again, they come at me, particularly these hillbillies. I'm not messing with them. I do not mess with them for 1 second. If you're an idiot, if you can't put a sentence together and you come after me, I'm not taking that. It's not soft. I don't want to see you or hear from you. You're a moron. End of story. That's it. Okay, 405-651-3439. We have a super, super duper chat. 2 of them, Parker Thune.
What do they say?
Well,
I'm
let
very
me check
intrigued.
right here. The first one comes from KW of Building Solar. Until the athletic department addresses the atmospheres provided for fans at OU sporting events, I will no longer be going. Will gladly donate my football season tickets to members of the KREF text line. It's no longer about dollars. It's just that bad. I donate dollars to NIL just to meet with an OU rep to help with atmosphere. Their way obviously isn't working. As a lifelong fan, this is my passion. This is my team. These are my people. I want to help make OU atmosphere elite. KW of Billings Solar. There you go. There you go. Drew from Flower Mound in the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Or maybe it's because Steely doesn't want to get cooked. No.
Have you been cooked ever?
I don't think so.
Didn't you get cooked by cat turd?
No, I went in there and I said something like, you people really believe this stuff? I didn't even know who the guy was. And then they tried to cook me. And as I've said before, sometimes you can be ratioed by stupid people. And if you're ratioed by stupid people, you aren't ratioed. And if you worry about a ratio, again, you're weak. Because if you're in the right and you're dealing with a bunch of idiots, the ratio doesn't matter, because most of these absolute idiotic buffoons have been ratioed in their real lives forever. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. But we've got a bunch of attention-seeking clowns out there. Oh, I got to get my likes and I got to get my retweets today. Where are they? Oh, my God. Go find a girlfriend. Start a family, you freaking loser. Well, how would I have time for that? I've got to tweet. Bunch of losers. Okay,
I believe this is the 8th day in a row. We've been keeping count.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is the 8th day in a row that Steely, pretty quickly after the top of the 1 o'clock hour, has devolved into old man ranting.
I know, and here's the deal. I know that I'm right. This society.
Oh, you're certainly right.
Right now,
yeah, you're
is the
certainly
worst
right.
it's ever been. You know, we saw the hockey fights over the weekend. That was very much emblematic of what's happening in society right now. The USA opened up a can of whoop-ass on them Canadians on the ice. And then you had OU fighting UCO in club hockey. And that's great. You know, everybody gets excited. There's a rumble. It is a rule, by the way, that the goalies have to take the gloves off if there are multiple people involved in a fight. But we have more idiots out there than ever before. I think if I studied it scientifically, it would all go all the way back to like the Cro-Magnon era, the level of stupidity out there. Mojo Eraser says I'm right. Yeah. Like I said, the people who think about ratioing somebody or use that or cooked have usually been cooked or ratioed in their real life for a long time. Like that Johnny Ringo guy. Hey, guess what? Honey, I watched Tombstone. I ain't put my real name out there. How about if I call myself Johnny Ringo? What do you think? That sound pretty creative to you? Think anybody's used that before? I call myself Johnny Ringo. And then I just come after people because I ain't got no life. Loser. Okay, 405-651-3439. End of Old Man Rant for today.
By the way, KW918 did say he believes Eric Bailey would win the beatboxing tournament because he would kill us with kindness.
Wait, did you say the beatboxing tournament or the beatboxing tournament? Like rapping? Eric Bailey could kill you with kindness. And I bet you Eric Bailey has some moves in his arsenal if you really get on the wrong side of Eric Bailey. Because he's nice to everybody. Right?
He is very nice to everybody. One of the nicest human beings I've ever met.
Yeah. So
I wonder if anybody has beef with Eric Bailey.
I'm sure at some point you got to have a beef. Somebody's going to have a beef with you, right? But
it's it's honestly remarkable. Because look, I try to be nice to people, Steely.
How
I
many
feel like
of
for
our
the most part,
how many people on it when we get on as guests will say, and we've had Eric on a lot, haven't as much recently, but he's always, all right, guys, thank you for having me on. Have a great day. Every time. You don't have to say that. But he does that all the time. But, yeah.
Jake from Wisconsin says, working outside in northern Wisconsin at -15.
Ooh.
Send a prayer for me. At least Sooner softball and baseball give me warm thoughts of joy.
Softball looks good, man. They're 10-0. You get Sam Landry's perfect game. You got Bella Smith's perfect game earlier in the year. I mean, it's Patty Gasso. We knew they were going to be good, but they're better than I expected so far because I was thinking, it's so hard to four-peat, much less to five-peat when you lose the best collection of women's college softball players in like a 4 or 5 year span in the history of the game. But guess what? They're really good again.
Do we think
really good?
Do we think Jake is working at the iron ore mill up in Wisconsin?
Could be, maybe. It's going to get. What's it going to get tomorrow? We're going to start getting snow and really cold weather. It's going to be like 3 days of not cool at all weather.
Krabby Sooner has chimed in on the text line. He said, "True fans don't go for atmosphere. We go to watch football and hopefully to see our team carry on our blue blood winning tradition."
Yeah.
That is true. Generally, like we all knew several of the girls in college, right? At least if you're my age, that would just go to coffee shops for the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the big thing for them, was the vibes. Oh, I just love the vibes.
See and be seen or whatever.
Yeah, they don't even order anything. They don't even drink coffee. They just go for the vibes. You don't get a whole lot of football fans that are just showing up for the vibes.
Yeah, they don't. Because there aren't many vibes there for, like, at the LNC right now. All right. By the way, can you pull up 2 clips real quick? Because now that was mentioned, on the Stoops review this morning with the one and only Bob Stoops, we already played the one last hour about Kevin Wilson coming back as an offensive analyst. This one was maybe the greatest text question and response ever so far on from somebody on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, and the answer from Bob Stoops. Roll that. This was pretty interesting.
TJ, what do we got on the text line for Coach?
Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. So this one says, if Coach Stoops was in the middle of his career right now, would he actually be looking more into opportunities in the NFL because of the state of college athletics? And did he see this coming is kind of why he got out when he did?
I definitely would be more apt to take an NFL job if I was in the middle of my career nowadays, for the reason that we have a pro model, and I'd like a pro model where I don't have to deal with class or young people being homesick and things like that. So, after I've had a little taste in the pro leagues, I'm doing this UFL, and I love the fact that you're working with adults, guys, grown men that there's no babysitting whatsoever, and they get it. I would definitely entertain it much more. And back when I was coaching, I felt our schedule through the year was better than that of a pro coach. When I say our schedule, just the recruiting part of it, the camps, the off time, all of that. When I was coaching, and I felt the college schedule was better than the pro schedule, but I don't believe that's the case now. With transfer portal and year-round recruiting, unlimited visits, the pro model now I believe is better than the college model. So definitely, all those reasons, I would entertain it much more now than I did then. It is not why I got out. My reasons were just as I stated. I had reached a point in my life I wanted my own time, my own space. I loved what I did. I just felt the timing was right. I felt I had someone there that would take it over and be there another 18 years. That didn't work out, but I couldn't have foreseen that at the time.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Yes. I'll pull up into Bob Clip Muleshoe sound effects. I should have told you that, but, I'm looking at YouTube all the time now, so I can't give good hand signals anymore. Passive-aggressive shot, sir. Please don't do that anymore. Okay, that won't be passive-aggressive. So here's that again with a little extra commentary at the end.
It is not why I got out. My reasons were just as I stated. I had reached a point in my life I wanted my own time, my own space. I loved what I did. I just felt the timing was right. I felt I had someone there that would take it over and be there another 18 years. That didn't work out, but I couldn't have foreseen that at the time.
Screw that guy.
That would be Muleshoe. That man. You can't blame it all on him, but that man.
No, I think you can blame it on
That
him.
man, if Oklahoma does turn into the next Nebraska, which I don't think that, but if it does happen, it's on Muleshoe. It's on Muleshoe. Weasel.
I think we should just blame it all on Muleshoe. The basketball program.
Yeah, why not?
The lack of a new arena. Really, every single, if you try hard enough, every single current issue that faces OU athletics could be traced to Muleshoe.
In a roundabout way, yes. Muleshoe blocks people because he's soft. We'll all agree with that one. 80%. Like the guy this weekend, he follows me.
Mm-hmm.
He decided he was going to call me a dip.
It's always the
and
most...
I thought, you think that's a good way to address somebody that you don't agree with their opinion? Johnny Ringo, I'm John. How you doing, man? I watched Tombstone a bunch of times. I'm going to call myself Johnny Ringo.
It's always hilarious to me when you see people, and this happens reasonably frequently to me, where I will look at my mentions and I'll see the same name, same handle, repeatedly taking shots at me, and then I'll pull up their profile and you'll see that little box that says, follows you.
Yeah.
I never block those people because I'm like, well, hey, thanks for helping give me a platform. But
I'll block him. I'm thinking, you're an idiot. Why would you follow me? The Tuscany guy over the Friday. I saw you.
Yeah, he never followed me. And it's people like that,
you called that to my attention. I'm like, dude.
If I'm taking random strays from an account with 4 followers that doesn't follow me, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to block you.
That's how they get their kicks because, again, they have zero in life. Or what's really sad is if you have a pretty successful life and you're doing that, then you're really probably even a bigger loser. You know what I'm saying? Okay, how confident are you that OU football and men's basketball will bounce back? That is our YouTube poll question today. Then we'll get to a quick break. Jesse Crittenden up next segment. This is OU. Give it a year or two. Leads at 48%. Too soon to tell at 29%. And coming in third but trying to make a run, Panic. We are the next Nebraska at 23%. You can find us on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search KREF Sports. That's all you have to do. That's all I got to say about that. We'll take a break right here. Come back. Jesse Crittenden will join us. We'll hit more of your texts. Keep it right here on the home of Sooner fans.
Considering refinancing your mortgage? Now might be the perfect time to start planning. With rates on the move, Stride Bank can help you determine if you may be able to lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term, or tap into your home's equity. Stride's expert mortgage advisors will work with you to tailor a solution that fits your needs. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
More than 600,000 Oklahomans have disabilities. We can't afford to leave great employees behind just because they do things differently.
Who we are and what we accomplish
are much more important.
Hire an Oklahoman with a disability and gain dependability, commitment, and lower turnover. Reach out. Oklahoma Rehabilitation Services, okdrs.gov. 1-800-845-8476.
The Ref is the home of Sooner fans and is once again your home for chaos. Every game-changing hit.
Long fly ball to left. Track. Whoa. Gone.
Every strikeout.
Got him. Swinging.
Every defensive gem.
He caught it. He caught it.
Every game, all year, the Ref has you covered.
Catch Sooner baseball this Wednesday night from Globe Life Field against UT Arlington at 7 o'clock with pregame starting at 6:30 on the Ref and the KREF app.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture.
For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
Tired of soaring insurance expenses or feeling uncertain about your coverage? At Right Way Insurance, every client receives a dedicated team of experts committed to addressing all your insurance worries. As an independent insurance company, they provide both personal and business coverage. Let them assist you in finding the optimal coverage for your specific needs. Contact Right Way Insurance at 405-607-6014 or at rightwayinsuranceok.com. That's Right Way Insurance, your trusted partner at 405-607-6014.
Mike Steely here for Lasher Home Comfort Systems, your trusted home comfort experts in the Oklahoma City metro area. Tim Lasher and his team have more than 130 years of combined experience. They recognize a significant number of homeowners live with inadequate home comfort systems. They specialize in diagnosing your home system issues while providing more efficiency and reducing your utility costs. As an authorized dealer of American Standard, Tim can service your residence or business. Call Tim and his team at 405-579-3113. Lasher Home Comfort Systems.
Confidence comes from knowing you're getting a great deal. That's why we're offering Confidence Ford employee pricing for everyone. The same exclusive prices our team enjoys, with fantastic savings on new 2023 and 2024 models in stock. Now is the perfect time to drive home in a brand new Ford. Visit us online or come see us in person, conveniently located at 825 North Interstate Drive. Confidence Ford of Norman, a Cavender Auto family dealership, where confidence is Cavender.
Whether you're celebrating a special occasion, desire a great postgame, or after-work dining experience, the Ranch Steakhouse is the winning choice. At Ranch Steakhouse, we're grilling up the best USDA prime steaks in Oklahoma. Juicy, flavorful, and cooked to perfection. Pair that with an unbeatable atmosphere, a killer drink selection, and a wine list of over 400 personally curated bottles. Whether you're toasting the game or winding down after a big day, Ranch Steakhouse is where champions eat.
Yes, sir, we're back. We've got Jesse Crittenden coming up here in 1 minute. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Yeah, I was telling TJ the story. Yeah, this dude who follows me, I put out a tweet about OU, they're done. Peter Griffin walking, or was it Peter Griffin? Yeah. Just kind of being silly. And this one dude comes back and says, "You watch the NBA, Dip. Worthless opinion." That guy's name was Johnny Ringo, by God. Not his real name, of course, but he's big and bad on social media. So he, of course, earned an instant block. So, yes, if they follow me and they're idiots, it doesn't matter if they follow me. I'm not concerned with followers, but I am concerned with hearing the opinions of morons. My concern is I don't want to hear them. And then after a little research, I was like, good Lord, this guy, wrong. Oh, my God. Sorry.
You think Jesse Crittenden has beef with anyone?
I would say Jesse probably has a beef with a couple people on the beats. Let's see if he'll unveil that. Jesse Crittenden joining us, Riverwind Casino Hotline. Jesse, is the funeral brochure ready for the OU men's basketball team, or are they still on life support in the ICU at this point?
I think you can probably start preparing the funeral arrangements in some form or fashion. The fact that there are still games on the schedule, and the fact that 5 of their last 6 regular season games are against ranked opponents. Maybe you can talk yourself into, if Oklahoma can somehow find a way to get a couple of wins, that maybe their season can be salvaged. But there are low points, and there have been low points over the last 3.5 years. But I don't know if there's been a lower point than that game on Saturday. And it's not only just in the way they lost that game. Really, grabbing defeat from the jaws of victory, but doing that when you're firmly a bubble team for the NCAA tournament. The fact that you're playing against the worst team in the SEC, an LSU team that was 1-10 in conference play coming into the game. You're at home. You just need a win to keep your ship afloat. And to lose that way, I think it's probably the lowest point since Porter Moser was hired. And I just, when you think about everything it means to the program, and then when you think about the way they lost that game, it's hard not to feel like, I mean, I think even as some of the losses have piled up in conference play, I think you could still talk yourself into, hey, with how well they played in non-conference play, and, hey, they got the win over Vanderbilt and a couple of these other wins, I think you could still talk yourself into. But all of those plans included a win over LSU. And not only did they include a win over LSU, they're up 5 with 25 seconds left. That's a game you got to win. So I think the fact that they somehow lost that game at home, I do think that the chances of this season being salvaged are pretty minimal right now.
Okay, so let's keep the conversation there, Jesse. Chances. What are the chances that Porter Moser is OU's men's basketball coach at this time 2 months from now, April 17th?
It's a good question because there's a couple of different ways. There's a couple of different ways you can look at it. I mean, one, if you're looking at it from does he deserve to come back for another year? You could probably argue no at this point. I mean, unless this season is salvaged, you're going to be looking at a 4th straight year of missing the tournament, something that's just unheard of around here. And not only that, but it would be yet another season with a hot start that only, just ends in deterioration in conference play. So I think from that standpoint of it, no, I think would you have confidence that things are going to be at all different next season? I don't think there's any reason to have that type of confidence. The only thing is, I think if you're looking at this era being over, I think you have to think of it as one piece of the puzzle. It's not like you get rid of Porter and everything is salvaged and everything gets fixed. I think what we're seeing is, as much as this isn't working, and it's not, that loss at LSU was clear, I think it's just one symptom of the problem. And I think if you're going to get rid of him, you have to think of it as one step in a long list of steps to try to get this program back to success or back to consistency. And part of that would be, is the athletic administration going to be willing to pay a buyout that, as was reported earlier today, is a little over $7 million. I mean, are they going to be willing to pay out that kind of money for a buyout when you're going to have to shell out even more money to really kind of get this program back under its feet? So my inclination is to say that if this season fully deteriorates and OU misses the tournament, that's it for the Porter Moser era. I do wonder, though, if this administration is going to be willing to pay that buyout and really do the things that are needed to get this program back underway. Because the other side of it is, if you're coming off of a 4th straight year of missing the tournament and you come off a bad season in the SEC, who are you getting to replace him? So I think there's a lot of different ways you can look at it, and that's why, we'll see if Oklahoma can somehow salvage this over the next couple of weeks.
Jesse Crittenden, OU Insider, joining us on the Riverwind Casino Hotline. Now, if you look at, Twitter, social media, and chat, sometimes our YouTube chat's really been pretty good, actually. But a lot of people will tell you, Josie's past his prime, whatever. Do you think there's any chance that Josie is in real hot water, or is it just maybe lukewarm right now? What's your take?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because there's a lot of programs you can look at around Oklahoma that have been having phenomenal success, right? Whether that's softball or women's gymnastics, men's gymnastics. Baseball made the Champ Series not that long ago, but the reality is, it always does kind of come back to football and men's basketball, right? And assuming this deterioration of the men's basketball season continues, it's hard not to look at not only what's happened with both of those programs over the last 4 years, but it's hard not to think about this kind of being the worst case scenario for being introduced into the SEC. So if you're looking at it from a success standpoint, it certainly hasn't been glowing. But at the same time, I don't know if that necessarily means he's in hot water, at least as of right now. I do think it puts tremendous. I mean, football and basketball will already be under tremendous pressure in the offseason going into next season. I do think that would extend to Josie in some regard to kind of get these programs back on track. But the reality is, I think I certainly understand fans' frustration right now. I don't know how you couldn't be frustrated with a football season that ends like that and a men's basketball season that started with such promise only to kind of end up where it is right now. I completely understand fans who are frustrated, but I do think it is important to understand that while maybe there is a quick fix, I mean, maybe everything football has done immediately propels them back into contention this next year. That's certainly possible. Maybe all men's basketball needs is a new coach and a little bit more in resources, and maybe the men's basketball program is super competitive next year. But I do think there needs to be some discussion about, are both of these programs right now in the midst of, really tough periods that could take years and a lot of answers or a lot of changes to try to fix. So I can certainly understand being upset with Josie or the administration or the head coaches of these programs, but I do think it's possible. It's not just one answer and it's not just one thing. And I also think I think it's possible that we don't even really know the answers right now in terms of what will fix them. I think that's part of what makes this program in a weird place. I mean, the reality is, as disappointing as this is, could anybody have predicted that Oklahoma was really going to lose that game on Saturday that way when you're up? I mean, that's, sometimes you just don't get it done. It's a big question, and I don't know if I have the answers.
Oh, boy. Brody Lusk will confirm to you, Jesse, that I, in fact, predicted it. And we talked about that at the beginning of the show. It was tragically predictable watching Oklahoma choke that game away in the final minutes. But is Sooner softball going to save us? Is that going to give us something to feel good about? Have you gotten the impression that this team, Sam Landry tosses a perfect game yesterday against Baylor, is this team going to be embarking on the tour de force that we're used to watching them embark on in conference play, now playing SEC ball as opposed to Big 12 ball?
Yeah, I don't know how you wouldn't be really impressed with how softball's opened the season. I mean, I think it's easy to have high expectations for this softball program given everything they've done the last few years. But when you really think about everything they lost and everything they've had to replace and just how many freshmen are playing right now, the fact that they're 10-0 and have been so dominant in these games, they were so dominant in Waco, it's incredible. I mean, I still expected softball to be good this year. I just didn't know how good. And I got to tell you, they have surpassed my expectations, particularly offensively. I mean, Ella Parker is hitting maybe as good as anybody in the whole country right now. I mean, she has just been incredibly elite, but it's not just been her. When you look up and down the roster and some of the contributions you're getting, I mean, look at Sydney Barker, a true freshman. Look what she did offensively this weekend. I mean, Tia Malloy has blasted 3 home runs. As another true freshman. I mean, it is just absurd what this team is doing right now and what Patty Gasso, I mean, there's seemingly almost no drop-off for this program, given everything they lost. It's super impressive. And, yeah, even the pitching staff, when you lose Kelly Maxwell and Nicole May and think about it, obviously losing Jordy Ball and Alex Storako, you lose all these big pieces. But don't worry, you've got Sam Landry throwing a perfect game. You've got Isabella Smith throwing a perfect game opening weekend. I mean, even Audrey Lowry came in relief in the Hofstra game on Saturday and struck out, 8 batters, was perfect in relief. I mean, they're going to face tougher competition. They've only faced 2 ranked opponents, and that was Baylor both games. I'm certain there will be ups and downs at some point, but to come out like this, there should be an incredible amount of excitement for this program right now.
All right, Jesse, before we let you go, we were asked in the YouTube chat earlier after birthday boy Parker Thune's answer to Captain Blackbeard yesterday, the social media takedown. Somebody asked, who do you think would win if there was a boxing event between all of the OU beat writers? Now, we're thinking Jesse's got mad musical skills. He's in a band, but if you've seen his picture on YouTube, he does, as one of our viewers pointed out, looks like he's the director of the Hogwarts Junior Academy in the tweed jacket and everything. But who do you think would be like the top 3 picks if we had the beat writers boxing events?
See, I don't like that old picture being used against me as my potential to win in a boxing tournament. I don't think that's particularly fair. I also don't fully understand the Hogwarts connection to it. But I still need to desperately need to send you guys a new photo. Who would win? Man, that's a really good question. I know who would win. Look, Parker. I mean, his spouse has military experience. I don't think you can overlook that by any stretch. It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Barry Trammell because of seniority. I don't know. It's a good question.
Trammell's in the seniors division, though. We're just talking about
who else is with him.
Barry, I don't know. I'm afraid one of the young whippersnappers would knock Barry's glasses right off, and it could get ugly early. You know what I'm saying? Because they're right there on the tip of his nose. All right. Well, Jesse, I don't know. That picture is very popular now. You may have to pay us a small fee to get rid of it. That could go to the Blake Gamble Fund, maybe, because he likes it too quite a bit. Jesse, we appreciate you, my man. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, I appreciate you guys.
Jesse Crittenden joining us on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. No, he's not. He's joining us on the Riverwind Casino hotline. See, I'm confused. I'm having to look too many places. Did you ever see the movie Scanners? Probably not.
Scanners.
80s music.
Never heard of
movie.
it.
Did you see it, Blake? Where the dude's brain just exploded all of a sudden? That could happen.
Is that going to be you?
I'm sure it'll
Your
go
brain's
viral.
gonna
If it
explode?
does, at least I'll go viral.
It'll be on camera.
It'll go viral, and that's what you want to do these days. Whatever you need to do to go viral, do it.
Old man dies on camera.
405-651-3439.
Old man dies on camera. Young whippersnapper reacts.
All right, Riverwind Casino, big announcement. We have 2 new shows coming in May to the Showplace Theater as we head to break. Randy Rogers Band coming to the Showplace Saturday, May 10th. Scotty McCreery on a Friday, May 16th. We already have Patti LaBelle coming in May. This weekend, we have a show Friday at the Showplace. Aaron Lewis and the State Liners Friday night. And then the next night on Saturday, Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen. On this Saturday coming up, February 22nd, later in the month, Friday, February 28th, Gladys Knights. In March, 38 Special, Bonnie Raitt, Chicago. 38 Special, very good band, Bonnie Raitt, Grammy, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Chicago, Grammys, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In April, America will be there. Boys to Men will be there. And as I said, in May, Patti LaBelle, Randy Rogers Band, Scotty McCreery at the Showplace Theater. Get online. Tickets for these shows, the Randy Rogers Show and Scotty McCreery, I believe will go on sale on this Friday morning, but tickets are available for all the other big events. Riverwind Casino, nearly 3,000 electronic games, the very best selection of electronic games and your favorite table games. They have 2 table game pits, a couple of high-stakes areas as well. Big-time poker room, off-track betting. They have it all, bars and dining, off-the-charts great, and a fantastic hotel right there, the Riverwind Hotel, attached to the casino. Take a break right here. Come back. We'll hit the text line. Stay right here on the home of Sooner fans.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess knowledge. That's why at GMC, we seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries, while pushing the limits. And we put this knowledge to the test in every GMC Sierra by engineering each one to outperform your expectations. So you know you're getting precision and durability when you need it most. And that's what makes the GMC Sierra the truck worth knowing. We are professional grade. See your Oklahoma GMC dealers.
What's up, Ref Army? It's Dusty Dvorak, and I'm back. I'm excited to be back with the Ref and cannot wait to help bring the home of Sooner fans the best Sooner coverage. Catch me every Tuesday and Wednesday during the 10 a.m. hour of The Plank Show as I cut it up with Plank and Josh about everything in the world of Sooner and college football. That's every Tuesday and Wednesday on The Plank Show, and there's only one place to hear it. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Download the KRF app today to listen from anywhere.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Dreaming of an escape? What about a relaxing escape to your very own backyard? Signature Custom Pools can turn your dreams into reality. Signature Custom Pools creates distinctive designs to fit your perfect getaway. Call Signature Custom Pools for your free design consultation at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com and turn your backyard into your dream escape.
There's strength in family, and there's strength in partnership. Hi, I'm Adam Hurst with Armstrong Bank, where we believe in building financial stability and enduring relationships. As a family-owned community bank since 1909, we'll always be here to support you, because we know that true strength is in our communities. Armstrong Bank, strength runs in our family. Visit armstrong.bank, member FDIC.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hi, I'm Ashton and I'm with the nonprofit Fostering Futures. Every day, children are removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. In these critical moments, we step in to support these vulnerable kids. We work alongside child welfare workers to meet the essential needs of safety, stability, and healthy connections, as well as providing enrichment opportunities. But we can't do this important work without your support. Consider donating at fosteringfuturesok.org. Together, we can offer children a brighter future.
All right, here we go. We are back. 405-651-3439. Jim in Arlington says today is Skip's birthday also.
I share a birthday with Skip Johnson?
I guess so.
Let's go. I'm trying to think, who else do I share a birthday with? Michael Jordan's birthday is today.
Really?
So, yep, share one with MJ. Billy Joe Armstrong from
Okay,
Green Day.
yeah.
Yep, their lead singer.
Who else?
Ed Sheeran. I believe today is Ed Sheeran's birthday as well.
He's acoustic and all that stuff. I mean, come on. Who else?
I have to fact check. Yes, today is Ed Sheeran's birthday. I mean, I assume there are others. Those are the three off the top of my head that I know for sure are February 17th birthdays. And apparently Skip Johnson, too. Great, love it.
Let me see if I can top you in birthdays, famous birthdays. Hang on. Because Michael Jordan might put you over the top, but we'll see. And Skip Johnson. Hang on. By the way, we got the results on the poll question. August 18th birthdays. Famous people. Sorry. I just want to see who's got the best list of birthdays. Let's see. I've got Robert Redford, Dennis Leary, Patrick Swayze. So far, advantage you. Martin Mull, Roberto Clemente. That's a good one for me.
That's a winner right there.
That's a winner. It's pretty good. I think you win. I mean, the best I have is Roberto Clemente. He's one of my favorite players growing up. Tragedy. Okay, so yeah, that's you win. You win. All right, 405-651-3439. T-Row said today also it's his mom's birthday. Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, T-Row's mom.
There you go. Blake, when's your birthday?
August 8th.
August 8th. Let's see how you do. Hang on. Okay, by the way, we do.
Right here.
All right. Wait a minute. You've got.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay.
Roger Federer.
Cool Mo D, Wild Wild West. Roger Federer.
My favorite one of all of them. You ready?
Yes.
Scott Stapp.
Oh, well, if he appears at your birthday party and they have. Was it the Thanksgiving Cowboys game that they showed up for?
Yes. All time.
Still one of the greatest gift gifts of all time.
They should just
no
do that
doubt.
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right, I think I'm third on the list. You also have Deborah Norville as well. So there you go. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Let's close out. By the way, our poll is closed. Our question today, are you confident that OU football and men's basketball will bounce back? And this is OU. Give it a year or two. Is at 49%. Too soon to tell. Came in with 29%. And Panic, we're the next Nebraska, 21%. There you go. Okay, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Sooners coming off the worst loss of the season, LSU. Although the A&M loss was pretty darn bad when you had an 18-point lead, but you did have a 5-point lead with 24 seconds remaining, right? I think LSU scored at the 22nd mark. But, I mean, you've given up 2 horrendous home games that you basically had in the bag, right? A&M and LSU. You're in pretty decent shape. You win both those games. But nope, couldn't close the deal. All right, 405-651-3439. What do we have on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line?
Bumpy Roads says, sorry, I have been outside trying to get a life, find a girlfriend, and have kids. What does it mean to be ratioed? First off, good on you, Bumpy Roads.
Bumpy
More
Roads,
people should do that.
Take me home. Go ahead. Tell them what it means to be ratioed.
The technical definition of the term ratioed, if you're using it as a verb. If you are ratioed, what that means is that somebody gets in your mentions on Twitter and replies to a tweet that generates more interaction than the original tweet itself. So, for instance, if Steely got on Twitter and said, I love raspberry zingers and Copenhagen.
Okay, yeah.
And his tweet got 15 likes. But then I got in his mentions and said, Copenhagen, Steely? Really? You're still on that? Please do us all a favor and switch to Zin. And my tweet got 60 likes. Then
Man,
I have ratioed Steely.
I got ratioed, man. Here's the deal, though. You have to keep in mind. Because in my world, which is really the world you want to live in, not be this age, but the real world, not the fantasy world where you've got shysters and posers and all these people who are not who they say they are and are phony and they're just fooling people because people are easily fooled these days. You cannot be ratioed by stupid people. In my world. Like if some hillbilly dude can't put a sentence together and is writing a sentence on a 3rd grade level, he can't ratio you. That person can't. So
if they can't calculate the ratio.
No. If they couldn't spell ratio, you can't get ratioed. So if you're ratioed by stupid people, it's not a ratio. There's no such thing. And like I said, a lot of these people who worry about ratios and say that and don't put their real name on social media. They've been ratioed. Their whole life is a ratio. Most of them. I would venture to say 97%. And what's sad, let's say you're really successful, however you define success, whether it's financial, spiritual, family, all of that should roll into one. Spiritual and family should be ahead of money, in my opinion, but, some people define it the other way.
Easy for you to say from your 4,000 square foot mansion.
I'm just saying that, and if you feel like you're really successful and you spend your time on Twitter trying to ratio people through a fake named account, you're a loser. 100% purebred loser. Because nobody who's that successful has really any time to do that, nor do they want to. I need to go on tour with speaking engagements everywhere so we can maybe get things turned around again. Because right now, I don't know, I'd say 50, 75 years before the whole blank house goes up in flames. Luckily, I'll be checked out of here by then.
Shoot, I might be checked out of here at that point, too.
I'll be looking down from upstairs. They won't allow you to laugh at other people in heaven, I'm sure, but I will, in my own way, be saying, I told you, idiots. You morons. We're ruining everything. But you had to get your likes and retweets, you attention-seeking clowns. And you blew it up. You blew it all up. Okay, 405-651-3439. There we go.
Mark in Newcastle asks, what is the penalty for being ratioed?
There's no penalty. Is there? No. Have you ever been ratioed?
I'm trying to think. Have I been ratioed?
Is it heartbreaking to be ratioed?
Have I been ratioed and I've just blocked out the memory?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I've been ratioed. I feel like everyone's been ratioed at some point. But generally, I'm the one that does the ratioing.
Yeah. Well, again, my opinion, and you're a fine young man. You're winning in life. You got a great family. You came from a good family. You're smart and all that stuff. But don't worry about that BS, because in the end, it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. But with these shallow, attention-seeking clowns who didn't get enough attention in the crib, Mommy, give me my phone, who are just out there fooling people these days, they're pathetic. All right, end of this. See, I've gotten very angry today.
Yes, you
just
have.
Thinking about a couple of people.
Hour 2, really since the beginning of the month of February, has become the Steely rant hour.
I'm trying to pull society back to a normal situation, but I think it's too late. The genie's way out of the bottle and long gone.
Mark and Blanchard on the text line with an interesting take.
Okay.
Porter Moser is the Pete Hughes of basketball, not a fit.
Well, that hire when Josie made it was pretty much touted as a great hire by just about everybody, right?
Well, Pete Hughes is kind of a D-bag, isn't he?
I wasn't around Pete Hughes, but I've heard that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Porter
guy.
Moser is not. Porter Moser is a very nice human being. A very
Porter
good
is a
human
nice
being.
guy. I've only talked to him on a couple of occasions, but he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, and it's very, very difficult for me to be able to separate the person from the work. I do my best to do it because obviously Porter is not having success as the men's basketball coach at the University of Oklahoma, and the program is not having success. He's an exceptional human being, though, and I know how hard he's trying and has been trying to get this thing turned around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not happening. I wish it was, for his sake and for Oklahoma's sake.
You think Porter's cursed to a certain extent? I mean, look, he's responsible for it. He's got the players out there, but you also kind of feel like there might be a little bit of a curse going on as well with OU. I'd give that about a 5% situation. Basketball, injuries left and right, wide receivers wiped out, no offensive line continuity, hardest schedule in OU history, all happening at the same time.
Oh, God.
And there's something happening when OU, again, blows an 18-point lead with 17 minutes left against A&M and a 5-point lead with 20 seconds left against LSU. But you know who's responsible for it? The coach.
Gunny said, I'd mop the floor with Pete Hughes, then kick his you-know-what for missing the corners.
Two-star Jay, what's he saying? Steely should change his Twitter, never X.
He should change his Twitter name to
Horatio.
deeming himself unratioable.
Oh, my gosh. That's pretty good. I like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got time for just a couple more.
5888 says, this is what it comes to when your basketball team is this bad. X ratio in-depth analysis.
Mm-hmm. Sooner Soldier, uh-oh.
Steely, you sound like you're intimidated by those who you say are less educated, or are you jealous?
Well, let's see. Am I intimidated by those who you say are less educated, or are you jealous? Well, first of all, you misused your. It should be.
He just grammar Nazi'd you.
Well, I mean, it's your. It's a contraction of you are. No, I just don't like these hillbillies running around acting like they have all the answers these days. They don't. Some of these idiots probably never made it out of 9th grade, and they're walking around like they got the answers all of a sudden. They don't.
Let it be known, folks, the highly educated Michael E. Steely
Oh,
does
man,
not
Harvard.
stand for the misuse of
Well,
the word your.
I mean, he's coming after me, right? So, like I said, I don't take any guff from any of these hillbillies or any of these crankshafts anymore, all right? I just don't do it.
Crankshafts.
Yes. Sooner Soldier, thank you for serving. By the way, I appreciate that very much.
I don't want to know.
I just decided at some point that I'm not taking it anymore.
I don't want to
We're
know
not
what the
gonna
Urban
take
Dictionary
it.
definition of the crankshaft is.
No, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it anymore.
Copyright that, YouTube.
I am just tired of dealing with some morons. That's all. Particularly morons who don't know they are morons. You should know. Not you, I'm not talking to you, but some others out there. You are a moron. Have a great Monday.